All right, well, good morning. I got a little helper here. That's right. And so today we are talking about, we're going to continue our series on STEM products. And today we're talking about some cool science summer stuff you can do. A summer science curriculum that can, I don't know, just help reinforce different educational concepts, but still be fun. So I have 3 different options for you for science summer curriculums, if that was what you're interested in, or it could be science vacation curriculums, whatever. Okay, so of course, the question of the day today, is how do you teach art when you are not good at it? I'm an expert at that, because trust me, if someone is not good at art, it is this lady here. And this guy loves art. He loves art. So my solution to that is that I let other people teach it. So I have this series by Lindsay Volin, and it's an older DVD series that I play, but there's also other options as well out there. Of course, you can Google it and come up with some. I'm sure OutSchool probably has someone. Ooh, shut the door, please. So another thing you can do as far as teaching about different paintings and things like that, so there are art cards available and art pictures where you pull up a picture, it talks about the history of it, talks about the artist. Shut the door, please. Different art cards, it talks about, so it'll feature a picture and then or a painting or a sculpture, and then it'll talk about the history of that, and then it'll talk about the artist and give you a bit of background of the artist. So Memorial Press has some. Veritas has some, which I talked about an all-in-one curriculum from Veritas the other day. Also, who else does it? I have the ones from Classical Conversations. They have those. I would show them to you. I've showed them to you in other videos, and I'll attach the art video at the end if you want to see more about it. But that is, if you want to see what they look like. But essentially, that's what it is you pull out an artist and discuss it and talk about it. Of course, they have the art books as well, so I will show you that in the video at the end. So that is how I would teach art, is let other people tell it. Like Lindsay Volin, when she does it, she picks she teaches your child from preschool and up. I just love it. I think it's great. You watch it together and then you learn a lot. And as an adult, I learn a lot too. There's also Drawing with Children by Mona Brooks as well. That teaches you how to be almost a graphic artist because drawing does not come naturally. I did not know this. So children to adults, that's the program to do that. It's in a book that I have and that I think is great. Okay. The neurodiverse topic of the day. So today I want to tell you about a skill that we utilize in our house, and that is when you get really upset, counting backwards from 10 can help us, like 10, 9, 8, or counting to 10. So by the time you get to whatever, and do it when you're calm, practice doing it when they're calm, just random, like let's count to 10. And that way they can start to engage in it and they should get used to it, and then it should help calm them down to a certain extent when they're angry or when they're mad or something like that. Another thing too, speaking of anger and mad, is so certain kids on the spectrum have a lot of aggression. And one of the ways to get out the aggression is to participate, first of all, to identify emotions and go through stuff like that. I've talked about that in other videos. But what I'm going to talk about specifically today is having, we have a trampoline in the backyard. Mainly the purpose is having activities that they can do to get a lot of their energy out, because that should lessen the aggression and help keep them calmer. So one of the things too, though, that I want to talk about today as well is counting to 3. When you are afraid to do something, if your body tells you, I'm scared to do this, but you know that it's safe, because sometimes your body sends pretend warnings to you or fake warnings, and it's just because you're doing something you haven't normally done before. So for example, you're on the top of a slide and you want to go down the slide, and the slide looks really scary, but you want to do it, and your mom has told you, or your parent has told you that it's safe to do and you want to do it. One of the things you can do is count to 3. You either do 3, 2, 1 and then blast off, or do 1, 2, 3 and do it. I usually do the opposite of the counting, but at the same time, it still should calm down anyway, I would think. But anyway, so that's what we utilize. So those are 2 things that may help you as well. All right, STEM product of the day. So today the STEM product it's Architecto, and what it is it's got, so let me show you. So this is it, and my gifted child seems to really love it. And the one that isn't gifted, another child, the other 2 children, seem to like just playing with these as blocks, because they're fun, they're blocks, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So essentially you would build this, and it's got instructions in every language, but it's not necessary. You would build this, and so it tells you at the bottom what you need to build it. There you go, you would try and build it, and then if you needed to, you could look up the answer there where it split the blocks up and it tells you what blocks are being used. So that's kind of the answer. And so it goes from, it's one of those kind of solo games, though. This isn't one you can really, you can kind of do it together. But see, so it goes to more difficult and more difficult. So that is Architecto. And remember, there is an architecture program that is free from the from the Architecture Society of Michigan. So that is an option as well. And I've done videos on it. I'll see if I can find the video and attach it at the end for if you want to look into the Architect program, which is very good. It's very cool and it's very free. Another product I want to show you is America State by State. This was on sale. I think I got it. I don't know where I got it from. I want to say, I don't really know. Maybe Reading Rain Resource or something but it was on sale, which is why I got it. So it's America State by State, but they're placemats, which I find 50 removable placemats to color. So if you can get it on sale, it's like $4.50. I think it's kind of cool to do because even if you have a laminator, you could laminate them because you learn a lot from it, even if you don't use it from that. So it's perforated. So like on one, it's got Delaware and it tells a bit about it. And then it's got, then on this side, so for example, it's just got different pictures and things like who was famous that came from there, right? The bird, the tree, whatever, all that stuff. There you go. So I think it's kind of cool and it goes to the 50 states. And so I kind of wish just for $4.50, I wish I had a couple more of them because then I feel like I could laminate it and then every week we could cover a different state and I would pull them out and we would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but really it's not necessarily necessary. If anything, it can be used as a teacher reference where you pull it out and you're like, hey, did you know? And so one of the things is just making sure that you got like the 5 main points from the state of Pennsylvania. Like what are 5 of the most important things to know about the state of Pennsylvania? And then just to cover those, you don't need to go into, oh, they have a steampunk treehouse there. Like this stuff you don't necessarily need to know. Where's that, Delaware? But you do need to know like, hey, it was the first state. Actually, I don't even know if that's true, but you get what I'm saying. Like I would have to do more research on that, but you understand what I'm saying. The last thing I want to show you is one of my favorite alphabet books. I have 3 alphabet books. I think I have 3 that are my favorite. And this is one of them. It's Once Upon an Elephant, but like Once Upon an Alphabet, but look at it. So when you look at it, so A is an astronaut, and then it gives you 3 or 4 pages on A. It gives you a mini story on that. And this one, Burning a Bridge, is B, and it gives you a little mini story on it. So not only is it interesting, it does highlight the alphabet, but more than that, they're like little interesting stories that you can do. And so I've just always liked it. Once Upon an Alphabet, Oliver Jeffers, and it's available. I've seen it at many, many libraries across North America. Now that I am back in Canada, I have seen it all over. So it should be easy to access. Okay, so let's talk about summers. So the topic today is summer science activities. So I have 3 different options. One of them is just going on a nature hike and having a book where you come home and you draw what you saw, something you saw or something you witnessed or something that was interesting to you. So doing that, that's the simple way to do it, just to get involved in nature, reduce anxiety, get outdoors, all that stuff, right? The second thing you can do, and then Google anything if you want to take it further. The second thing you can do is fun schooling. Fun schooling has these books, and one of the books is like for science, and it's like, okay, choose 5 different topics that you want to learn about regarding science. So anything you want to learn about that has to do with science. And then they write that down, and then they can go to the library and choose those books. So that's another option that I think is very cool from fun schooling. And a third option, I actually have a third and fourth, because I got a 4th one is for little kids. I'll do that first for some reason. The 4th one for little kids would be Blossom and Root. They have like a space for grade, I want to say kindergarten. Kindergarten, they have a space one where you go on a space adventure. And so the book is essentially you're writing letters to an alien, kind of an alien, and telling him about Earth and what Earth is like and things like that. And you're designing your spaceship and so things like that. So it's simple, yet it's fun, and you're kind of learning a bit about like, hey, did you know, I don't know, living things on Earth need this to survive or stuff like that. So I think that's very cool. And third, I know, I'm a strange one. And number 3 would be the Noeo Science Kit. I've showed you in it before. I'll attach the video at the end for the Noeo Science. And you can take a look at it and you can see what is in there. Because for $200, I mean, you can study like grades 1 to 3 or grades 3 to 6. You can study, I think they have 3. They got biology, physics, or chemistry, and you can study that. And yeah, it comes with almost everything you need to utilize, like for experiments. And it's a simple program, and I really like that. And it's got your books and everything that you need. They're pretty interesting books. Are they the best I've ever read? Not really, but they're good. They're still interesting. And I like that for $200 you get everything in a box. So that to me is well worth it. It's well worth the price because that comes with all your books, comes with all the stuff you need for experiments, almost all of it, more so than any other program. And I think you can just buy their book for $75. I think you can, the PDF of it. So the bulk of the program, you can do it that way, but I think you would want to get all of it just because some of the books might not be available at the library because they are some newer comic books, but also because some of the parts, like you're gonna need chopsticks, stuff like that for some of the experiments. And so this way you got it all and it's all bagged up for you. It's not like Sunlight Science or Bookshark Science where you open it and it's just this box of parts and you're like, what the F am I supposed to do here? And it's like, oh, search for this part no, it's all bagged for you. It's like experiment 1, experiment 2, which is very helpful. So there you go. That's your video today. I hope you tune in tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like you right.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell, you know, notification.